Hey guys, welcome back to On the Same Page with me, Paige Natalie. So today's topic in my little chit chat, I'm going to discuss my best and worst dates that I've had. So I'm going to start off with my worst date. So let's just rip that plaster straight off. And I'm just going to air my dirty laundry, really, to be honest with you. Hopefully, I don't think the guys would ever watch this because I don't think they even follow me on social media and I don't even think they'll realise who they are. But hey ho, you should have known it was just a shit date because you're not in my life now. So I'm going to start off. This one was literally within the last 2 years, to be fair. And this one's my worst date. It was the worst date from start to finish just because it was just, I felt like I was on a date with a child, which pretty much I was. So let me explain it. So I met this guy in Leicester Square. It was gay pride, actually, in a casino. And anyways, I'm with my friends. We're gambling money that we do not have to gamble. I'm talking like little £10, £20 here and there, doing blackjack like £2, etc. I actually won money back. I won an additional £30, which I was so happy with. So I was like, yay, I'm so good at blackjack. I'm a gambler. So we met these guys in there, and there was this mixed race guy, and he was so cute. Anyways, cut a long story short, we got on really well. He was letting me gamble his money, so I was like, hey, win-win. Didn't have to gamble my own. I actually didn't win him any money, to be fair, so I think all my luck was on me. And then we exchanged numbers, and then we started talking. We was talking for about a week or so. Like I said in my previous video, I like to at least talk for a week to 2 weeks. Ideally 2 weeks minimum. But I worked in London, he lived in London, and he messaged me and was like, let's go for a drink, I'll meet you after work. Meet me in Liverpool Street. So I was like, okay, cool. Anyways, it comes to the day now, and I get a text off a random number. This is where the date goes bad. Literally, get your tea in hand, glass of wine at the ready. So this is where it goes, literally where I'm like questioning, should I even turn up? So I get a text from a random number. It's this guy. The text is, hey, it's X. I haven't got no credit at the moment. So I can only WhatsApp when I've got Wi-Fi. I'll meet you at Liverpool Street at 6. I'm thinking, you ain't got no credit. What do you mean you ain't got no credit? Would you not have a contract? So I'm baffed. So I'm like, okay, so I left it. I was like, okay, cool. I'm thinking, nah, this is like, I'm sorry, no credit. Like, that's a bad sign. Like, number one, why are you on credit? And number two, why are you not on contract? And why are you texting me off your mate's phone? Like, are you 16? Now, he was younger. So I was 27 at the time, because it was about 2 years ago. I'm 29 now. And he was, I think he was 26. So I was already a little bit like, don't know about this little boy. You know, boys are like 5 years behind women, like literally. So I'm thinking he's not going to be on my level. But I thought, hey ho, like I said, I'm a bit of a serial dater. He was fine, mixed race, these hazel eyes, curly hair. I was like, oh, he's so cute. So I was like, let me give it a go. Like, if he's willing to be man enough to ask for my number and ask to take me out on a date, I was like, let's go. So then it gets to, I finish work now, it's like 5, half 5, and I ring him. So I'm like, well, I'm going to have to ring him because he's got no credit. So I ring him and I question him about the credit situation. So I'm like, why do you not have no credit? Are you not on a contract? He's like, yeah, but I haven't paid my bill. I'm sorry, excuse you, what? You know when you're like, huh? What do you mean you haven't paid your bill? Can you not afford your bill? He's like, well, no, not really this month, my finances. I'm like, this guy's taking me out on a date. So all night, yes, ladies, I'm asking myself the big question. Does this guy think I'm paying for my own drinks? You're taking me out on a date. Again, you asked me for my number. You approached me. And all now you're gambling money that you clearly don't have. Not that it wasn't much. It was like £50 here and there. He kept drawing out like £30. I mean, it was just like little £5 games and stuff like that. But you've got disposable money to gamble, but you can't pay your phone bill. I'm thinking, nah, this don't add up. So as I'm walking to the station now to meet this guy, to get on the train to meet him at Liverpool Street, I'm thinking, should I make an excuse and not go? So as what we all do, I put down the phone. I'm like, all right, I'll see you soon. Put down the phone. You ring your girl. So I'm like, you will never guess what. I'm meant to be meeting this guy. He's not even got money to pay his phone bill. He's texting me off his mate's phone. He's already like 25 years old. He's a young buck. And she's like, no. You don't know his situation. Give him a chance. You know how like your friends like to be optimistic, but you know the deal. So I'm like, I'm taking on that optimism. I'm like, okay, let's give this a go. So I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? Let's be honest. I pay for my own drinks. I go home. So that is exactly what happened, by the way. I meet him now at Liverpool Street. He's there with his friend. I'm thinking, I didn't realise I was meant to be bringing a mate. You know, like back in the day, they'll be like, oh, bring a friend. I'm going to bring my friend. Like it's a little matchmake thing. Like you can't really have a one-on-one date. It's always like, bring a friend and we'll make it like a group thing. I'm like, oh, wow. Ex number 2. So I'm like, I need to go home. But I'm like, do you know what? I'm here. It's awkward. Let me not be this bougie ass girl that everyone thinks I am. Be like, I'm going to up, leave, bless, bye. So I'm like, okay, so what are we doing? He's like, oh, my friend's gonna walk around for a bit and then, or is it okay if he comes with us? This is when I put my foot down, I put my grown ass panties on. I said, no, he can't. I said, you're meant to be taking me for a drink. This isn't a group thing. And his friend's like, oh, right, okay. I was like, sorry, not to be rude, but I thought he was taking me out on a date. Like, this is meant to be drinks. I don't know where you come into it. So I was like, no, sorry, big panties are coming on. I'm like, is this on MTV? Like, is there secret cameras somewhere? Anyways, this is why it was the worst date. I'm going to fast forward because I've got a couple of dates to get through. We go to a bar. He complains that the cocktails are too expensive, so I get myself a French martini. He sat there and drank nothing. Then we went to another bar that he felt was more affordable. And he ended up getting a beer there. And I was like, well, I'm now not going to buy myself another drink. So he then sat there with his beer. I then was like, okay, fuck it. Let me just get a G&T. Had that. Conversation was flowing. It was good. He seemed ambitious. He was trying to start his own company. La-di-da-di-da. He lived on his own, apparently. So I was like, who do you live? You know, when you need to start asking questions like, do you live at home? Why do you not have no money? Like, you know, you're trying to get to those questions that without being rude. He lived on his own. I'm thinking, how do you afford rent? This me, what do you work as? And he said he worked in construction or something. Da-da-da-da-da. This is when he drops the bomb. Why I'm studying in uni. Do I look like I want a baby? I'm not your mum. I'm not going to help you bloody with your uni fees. What's all this? Like, I've been done that, past graduated, like, long gone. I'm thinking, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going with a uni grad. Like, what is this here? You know, when you're just like, this is why people don't get past first dates. Anyways, it continues. So he's like, I'm hungry. I was like, yeah, I could eat a steak. Now I love me some steak. We go to this place. We was walking, find this steakhouse in Liverpool Street. He's reading the menu on the outside. I can't remember the last time I read a restaurant menu from the outside from the window. No. You walk in, you get a seat, you read the menu, you order food. He's like, £35 for a steak. Let's not eat here. I'm like, that's standard. I'm thinking, I can't cope. So I was like, okay, let's just go Nando's. I was like, are you even going to buy Nando's? Yes, I said that. I did. I was like, are you even going to buy Nando's? He was like, yeah, I'll buy you Nando's. We had the Nando's. I'm going to rewind here. The conversation was good. He was nice to look at. He did buy me my £12 Nando's. And then, oh, wait, no, I can't fast forward this bit. I've got to go back. His friend turns up again. How did I miss that? We're in Nando's. His friend turns up to give him a bank card that he's transferred money into before he paid for my meal. I'm thinking, what? Number one, where's your friend appeared from? Number two, how used to exchanging bank cards? Then he's like, oh yeah, can you go draw me out £20 if I give you this card? There's that code. Then his mate's giving him another card. And I'm thinking, what is all this about, please? Like, his mate's all like, oh, you're right, shall I join you? No, you can't, mate. Sorry. I was like, look, I need to eat and go. I was like, you can sit down if you want. Like, I'm going soon. So, oh, mate, the mate appeared again. I'm thinking, what is going on here? Had the Nando's. Go outside. So the mate left. We go outside. I'm like, look, I'm going to walk to the station now. It's getting late. I've been out a good 3 hours at this point. How I lasted 3 hours, I do not know. Patience of a saint. So, get outside now. His friend come bopping along. I'm like, where the hell have you cut? Like, what the hell is this? So I was like, oh, look, your friend's there. I'm going to catch a train. I'll see you later. Worst date ever. Was it even a date? I took myself out, let's be honest. And don't date children. Can I just put it out there? Like, I'm these 25-year-olds, I'm grown-ass man. No, you're not. I'm sorry, especially when you're not acting like that. Worst date. So, another bad date that I went on is my second worst date because it's just audacity, let's be honest. So I met this guy. I'm in Westfields in Stratford. This guy comes up to me, approaches me, asks for my number, the usual chit chat. We start texting, we're talking for a little while. He's like, let me take you out. We went Embankment, went to a Mexican place, really casual but nice. You know when you like those little quirky places? Well, not everyday STK, you know. Like if it's somewhere in London, it could be anywhere. So we're going to this Mexican, everything's great. Let me just point out, this guy was older. So then I think I was 25 then. He was 30, I think he was 31. So he was older than me. So I'm like, he's an older guy. You know, he's got his head screwed on. He knows what he wants in life. Yeah, I'm thinking, and he said he was a, oh my God, surveyor. So I'm like, I didn't know what that was at the time. I'm not going to lie. I was like, you do what? Then when he told me, I was like, oh, like he told me he worked on all these buildings and like helped thingy the Shard and this building, that building. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I got myself a grown ass man. Yes, I have. He's mixed race. He goes to the gym. He's muscly. He's older. He got a good job. Well, he was doing a room share as well. Big man job. Big man, and doing a room share with his college friend that he's known since he was like 12. I was like, but I was 25, so I was like, it wasn't a massive thing. Like in my head, I had this picture, like he's got his own house. But I was like, okay, I can run with this. I mean, I'm 25. I'm not bringing much to the table at this point. So I'm like, okay, you're bringing more to the table than me, so I can run with this. The reason it was the worst date, we had the date, it was fine. We chatted, the conversation was flowing. This is where it goes left. The bill comes. So as the lady puts down the bill, he does the, oh, I'm going to go to the toilet. But it was the way he'd done it. And you know, you see it on TV and I thought, nah, this is not happening to me. It's not happening. So I'm thinking, he like looked at the bill and was literally like, oh, I'm going to go toilet. And then kind of like slid the bill in the middle of the table, like as he like got up. I'm thinking, what are you doing that for? So I thought, oh, two can play that game because I ain't getting this bill. The audacity that you've actually tried to make me pay for it and you're actually intentionally trying not to pay for it. Like, oh, if you go toilet, obviously I'm going to get it covered while you're gone instead of just leaving it on the table. Oh no, Bibble. That's staying on the table and it will be there when you get back. So I got up my phone. So, you know, work emails and all that. I'm like this. On my phone. He comes back from the table. And you know when you're still acting like you're super busy, like I couldn't just be on Instagram. Like I actually replied to some work emails at like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh, 1 minute, sorry, my boss has been emailing mad, texting away, emailing. I was like, oh, really sorry, 1 minute, one more email. You know, like you're acting like you're bare occupied. Anyways, I finished. I was like, oh, sorry about that. And he was like, oh, the bill's still here. I was like, oh, I didn't even see the lady put that down. Oh, yeah. This is me. I'm sitting here like this. Then the lady comes over because it's been a good 10 to 15 minutes now. So she's like, do you need the card machine? This is him, bare hesitant. Yeah, I guess so. You guess so. Don't guess. You asked me out. You asked me. I got food in my fridge. I live with my mum. She cooks for me every night, ready for when I get home from work. I'm 25. I've got food at home. And it's just like, anyways, he pays for the bill. I'm pissed off at this point. There's no second date already. He's already fucked it. This is what really put like the cherry on top of the cake. So we get up now, he's paid. As we're walking out the restaurant, he goes, you can get the next one. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't mind paying for myself, that's not a problem. In my head, I'm thinking, don't tell me that I'm going to be paying. You can't tell me that. So that was why it was one of my worst dates. Like, literally, don't tell me I'm going to pay. He texted me the next day. I was like, I don't think it's going to work. He was like, why? I spoke to my friend. I gave her the whole gist of the situation. She was like, no, give him a chance. He may not mean it like that. Because I was like, he's a tight ass, basically. I was like, I don't do tight. I don't do people that money pinch. And like, it was all a bit too much like, and I tell you nothing. When we was at the bar waiting for our table, the barman was like, oh, what do you want to drink? I ordered my drink. It was probably a Malibu and Coke back then. The barman was like, double or single? He answered for me. He went, single. I'm sorry, how do you know I don't drink doubles? So it was a lot of little things throughout the night that was like penny pinching. And I'm thinking, I'm 25 and I can still afford everything that you're providing tonight. So why are you finding it such an issue to pay? Those are my two worst dates. Like, literally, don't date a younger guy, and God forbid you think an older guy's got it all figured out. They really and truly haven't. Anyways, the next day, oh my God, my nose is so itchy. So the next day, he texts me. I'm like, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think you're for me. Explained to my friend the situation that he had texted me. And she was like, just tell him, like, give him another chance. Like, you never know. He may not realise that's how he is. That might be how he's brought up, or he might just be a saver. Again, the friends are being optimistic. You've got to love an optimistic friend. So I tell him, I was like, okay, cool, I'll tell him. I was like, look, this is why you're not for me. You know, girls like to write a paragraph. We love a paragraph. I wrote him a paragraph. I was like, look, I've got to be honest with you. I find you really tight. And the barman asked me for a drink. You answered for me and told him I wanted a single, not a double. When the bill came, you tried to slip off to the toilet. Then after when you paid for the bill, you told me that I'm paying for the next one. I don't need to be told that I'm paying for a meal. I'm more than happy to pay for my meal or our meal, but don't ask me out on a date and on the first date and then tell me I'm paying for the next one. Like, you shouldn't have told me. You should have just waited how I was on the second one. I was like, that's not really for me. You're not my type of guy. I don't really do guys that watch money. I said, I find it really awkward. Who's paying for what? It's awkward. Like, shall I pay? Should you pay? Or should we go halves? If I get a drink, should we do a separate bill? Like, it's awkward. It's a conversation that doesn't need to be had. Like, it's too much for the first day. So I was like, it's not really for me. I'm really sorry. I think we should just leave it there. Well, oh my God, my nose is so itchy. He was like, no, that's not fair. That's not me. You haven't given me a chance. It's not like that at all. I just assumed that you wouldn't want a double drink because it was a work night. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll give you a second date. This guy got to date number 2. There was no date number 3, 4, 5, or 6. And I don't have his number. I don't have his Instagram. And I've never seen him since. That is why I'm still single. Even men are not men. So now I'm going to go through my best dates. And the reason that these are my best dates is because they have everything that a date needs to have. So the first really good date that I had was I met this guy and he texted me, meet me at Green Park Station at this time. I'm going to take you somewhere, dress up, wear heels. I'll be outside the station waiting for you. So he lived really far away in London, so he couldn't pick me up. Like I said in my last video, I do like to be picked up. I'm going to pick you up at 8, so I know my transportation, etc, etc. But at least now, because I know I'm getting trained, I've got my comfy heels on. I had a nice dress, my Celeb Boutique silk jacket. I was ready to go. Anyways, I meet him at the station. He's there waiting. We walk round to the bar. We end up going Monkey House. We go there. He lets me through the door first. Like, everything was so charming and so sweet. Like, the night was so smooth. Then he opens the door. He had an area, like seating area, like reserved for us to sit upstairs. We wasn't going downstairs to the restaurant. It was just drinks. It was generally just to get to know each other. And the best part is, and I know you're going to be like, why does that matter? But it was just the smoothness of the date. The lady come over to ask what we wanted to drink. And he liked red wine. I like cocktails. So he was like, can I have a bottle of red? A bottle? My man isn't like, can I just have one glass? No, he's like, can I have a bottle? So I was like, okay. Like, this is good. We've got an intelligent, intellectual man here, and he drinks red wine. I don't even drink red wine. You've got to have like a particular taste for red wine. So he ordered a bottle, and then obviously I looked at the cocktail menu, ordered my cocktail. Then when the lady brought the bill over, he was like, "Oh, just take my card and put it behind the bar." Ding, ding, ding. I was like, this guy's got it all figured out. Now, I'm not talking about, don't be thinking, money, go. No, it's not. He's got it handled, and that's how a man should be, and that's how a date should be. I'm not saying you should put your card behind the bar, but he did. So I was like, opened the door for me, met me at the station. He gave me a time. It was planned. We had a destination. We had a table booked. It was smooth. It was smooth running. And the reason also it was a really good date, because we sat there in the corner, literally just drinking and talking for hours. So I met him at like 7:30, 8. We didn't leave the bar till 12 o'clock at night. So I had to get last train home. You know, district lines are like 12:15 last train. So we spoke all night. You know when someone's really intrigued, you know when you're both just sitting like this, like your arms on the couch sofa there, and you're talking and you're really into, like, we're talking about childhood stories. He's telling me what he used to do as hobbies when he was younger, like karate and stuff like that. And I'd be like, oh yeah, I done gymnastics and swimming. And then we was just generally getting to know each other. It's probably the first date where I've got to know someone on a deep level, like really, like on the first date basically. So that I was like, oh my God. So when I left the date, I was like, oh my God, this was amazing. Like the bill was covered. He went up to the bar, got his card back. That was all paid for. He got my jacket for me. We walked out. He walked me to the station. It was amazing. Like, it was a really good date from start to finish. It was organized. It was planned. He was a gentleman. He had it covered. And believe it or not, this one was actually a younger one as well. So I didn't learn my lesson. Because he still ended up fucking up and acting like a child later on down the line anyway. So again, that didn't go very far. But the date within itself, like, he handles himself like a man. Like, this one was 25 as well. But he's up there with one of my best dates. Like, he was a gentleman from start to finish. And then another good date that I had, just because I told 2 stories of the bad dates, I think it's only fair that I give like 2 stories of a good date. So this guy, I was talking to him, we're seeing each other, we'd had like flirty banter on Instagram and stuff for like ages. We finally got to the point where we went on a date. And I liked this as well because he gave me 3 options. You know when you don't really know someone? So he messaged me and he was like, we can go Alex, Benihana's, or somewhere else. I can't remember the other place. And I was like, oh, I haven't been Benihana's yet. So you know when they pick someone that you haven't gone anyways, and they're not even aware of this, but you're already like, I get to go to the restaurant I've not been to yet. So it was all planned. So you booked Benihana's. He was like, I've booked it for 7. I'm going to pick you up at like 6 or 5:45 or whatever. I'm going to park at the station. We'll get the train together so we could both drink. We can go there. We went there. It was lovely. We had beautiful food. We spoke. We had cocktails. We got the train back together. We jumped back in his car. He dropped me back at mine. It was all, again, it was nicely planned. It was perfect. It was organized. The best dates are the organized dates. Obviously, you have to get along with each other. Like, I found him mad attractive. We had loads in common. And I was just like in awe with him. I was just like, this guy's so fit. And he took me Benihana's. I was like, the food's amazing. I was like, and he picked me up. Like, it's the simple things. It really is the simple things. So, and again, like, when the bill come, it's covered. And Benihana's is expensive. Like, I think the bill comes to £130. And I did generally offer to pay. And I was like, rah, like, I was like, I'll pay halves. And he was like, no, I've got this. You know when you're like, thank God. But I would have generally paid, because you know when you're like, it's a genuine date. I would have had the if he did make me pay, because I'd been like, again, you asked me out. But because we were talking on that level, I was like, but yeah, so the bill was covered. It didn't matter. I had like 2 free cocktails. There was no like watching how many cocktails I was having. It didn't matter. Obviously, Benihana's, you got steak. He even upgraded the rice. And I was like, because the man was like, do you want to upgrade the rice to like egg fried rice or whatever? Otherwise, you just get plain rice. And I'm bare hesitant. I'm thinking, I don't want plain rice. Like, I generally want egg fried rice. So I thought, let me not say nothing. So I'm like, it's not for me to be upgrading my food. And he upgraded it. And I was like, yes. I was like, amazing. So it's just about the smoothness of a date from like start to finish that can make a date amazing. But again, I have rambled on, peoples, but these are the chronicles of dating and being single in Essex. Well, being single and being me. So I've gone through my 2 worst dates, why, my 2 best dates and why. So DM me on my Instagram, Paige Natalie, your worst and best dates, and also don't forget to DM me topics that you want me to talk about, and let's just have some girly nights in. I mean, we're in quarantine, people. We might as well grab a glass of wine and have a chit chat. Comment below, please share, please like, and I hope you enjoyed our chat today. Mwah!